part of my childhood, as I mentioned, we were very poor. We used to make our own butter, churned our own butter, butchered our own animals for food, and because we had cows to milk, and my dad, by the way, all this time had a job in Princeton, so a lot of the tractor or field work and so forth, even up when I was 12 and 13, fell on me during the day in the summertime. But anyway, we had cows that had to be milked, so my brother, who was like 5 years younger than me, was learning how to milk. And so I was supposed to be teaching him how to milk the cows. So I picked the cow with the most productive udder, okay? Had the most milk per squirt. If you know anything about milking, you sit there with a pail between your legs and you go really boring, okay? You do this so boring that after a while I'd look across the aisle because the other two cows were on this side, and I'd see my brother sitting there doing little milking things. So I'd squirt him from the top, from his shoes all the way up to the top of his head. Just gave one long squirt, and he got so mad because it was wintertime, and then we had to finish chores after we had done milking. When he came in at night, he was frozen. His clothes were frozen where I'd hit him with the milk. So anyway, he got really tired of that, and he said, if you do that one more time, I'm gonna throw this milk at you. I thought, yeah, whatever. I didn't think he would do it. So I squirted him again, and he had a little milk in his bucket, and he threw it at me. So I hurried up, jumped down from the milk stool, put the milk in the separator can, and we had a big 50-gallon watering thing in the barn to keep the animals watered. And so I scooped it in there, and it had algae in it. It was not a clean water source. Scooped it in there, and there's still milk in the bucket, of course, some. And my brother ran out the door, barn door, and I threw it after him. Just as I threw it after him, my dad stepped in the doorway. And so I hit him full force with the whole 3 gallons of water, ice cold, mucky water. And he looked at me, and he turned around and walked back into the house. And I can remember sitting there, Robert's outside laughing because he thinks, my brother, he thinks I'm gonna get killed. And I'm not laughing because I know I'm dead meat. This is gonna be the end of me. It's gonna be the end of life as I know it because I just doused my dad with mucky, icy water. And the worst part is I had to finish milking 2 other cows, plus we had to feed them, and clean out the manure. So it's a good hour and a half. I knew that he had time to plan what he was gonna do to me when I came in the house, because I had to go in the house. That's where all my stuff is, okay? That's where my bed is, everything else. I had to go back to the house. So he never came. I went back to the house and he never said anything, forever. He never said anything. And several years ago, my mother commented on, he came in the house laughing, and she says, what's so funny? Because he was full of water, his clothes were all frozen and everything. And he said, if you could have seen Leslie's face when he threw that water on me, he said, I couldn't get mad. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. So I skated on that one. I thought it was gonna be the end of my life. No, but that was a long hour and a half waiting to go back in to see what was in store for me. That was not fun.